Cop who arrested Jeffrey Dahmer is still shocked with what he discovered when he arrested at the serial killer's home. The cop who was on the homicide team that arrested Jeffrey Dahmer says he still struggles to come to terms with what he saw in the serial killer's house. Dahmer, who became known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, was a serial killer and sex offender who murdered and dismembered 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. Some of his sickening acts included necrophilia, cannibalism, and attempts to preserve his victims' body parts or skeletons, cementing him as one of America's most prolific and sadistic serial killers in modern history. Since then, documentaries, movies, and TV shows have told his story for true crime fans with a morbid fascination for serial killers. Most notably Netflix 2022 10-part series Monsters: The Jeffrey Dahmer Story, starring Evan Peter. However, while many viewers can turn off from the horrors of what Jeffrey did, one person who still can't shake it is the cop who investigated his murder. Retired Milwaukee Police Lieutenant Michael Dubis spoke to Fox and Friends about what went down on the night of Dahmer's arrest and the search of his pad, which officers later recalled felt like dismantled someone's muscles than an actual crime scene. Dubis said when he arrived, he was briefed by other detectives that there were pictures in the apartment and that there might be a human head in a box. This pretty way out there as far as even a homicide detective, and when we arrived, that's what we had, Dubis recalled. As several documentaries about the arrest has revealed, Dahmer was rumbled when what was meant to be his next victim managed to flee and flag down two cops on the streets. The officers, Robert Roth and Rolf Mueller, went to Dahmer's apartment where they stumbled across a troublesome trove of gross Polaroid pictures of human bodies, beings dismembered, and a severed head in the fridge. Dubis confirmed when the homicide team arrived, officers found dead bodies scattered in every grave. There were human heads and bones and things all over. Every drawer opened up, every cabinet we opened, there was body parts, he said. When asked if he has nightmares about the ordeal, he said, uneasy nights, not nightmares, though the apartment itself is pretty triggering for its strange smell. The cop confirmed many of the true crime documentaries and shows were reasonably accurate about what happened, including complaints from a neighbor who reported odors and sounds coming from behind Dahmer's door. Dubis explained they are very close, other than apparently the smell. I know that the smell is in his apartment was not that of death, the detective said. It was a very sweet smell. It was a very chemical smell. Ironically enough, the smell is still in the room where all of his property went that morning. I walked in there and it's still. I walked back into it. The lieutenant also revealed he had a conversation with Dahmer's father, Lionel Dahmer, who later became a controversial figure as he stood by his son and even wrote a book about it, A Father's Story. in 1994. Dubis said while the team were combining the flat evidence, Leona raged several times until the detective decided to answer. We spoke for a few minutes. He revealed, I told him that Jeffrey was okay, that we were investigating a homicide, but he was downtown. He was talking to some other detective. He wasn't hurt. That was pretty much the end of that conversation. In 1994, just 2 years into his 15th term of life imprisonment,